Hey, bows and bow ties. So, look, I have my avatar on because my hair is cornrowed in some set it off braids, and I'll take them out tomorrow. So, I don't think I should be on here with my hair tied down, looking like set it off or Sealy from The Color Purple. So, look, the title of this is Why Black Women Continue to Overcorrect. Um, we're tired. And I'm going to get to that in a second. For those of you who don't know who I am the Black opinionated woman, also known as Bo. So I like to talk about a lot of different issues surrounding Black women, Black culture, etc. But I want to talk about Black women today. So one of the main reasons why we are in this overcorrecting, um, I'm going to, I don't know what the word I want to use, era. A lot of it has to do with security. Now, I want you to listen for a second. We, I think, largely lack financial security, emotional security, physical security, educational security. Well, maybe not really. Sexual security, mental security. Now, women, I would say human nature, but I'm going to speak for Black women for a second. Black women desire security on all levels like any other woman. So when you are suffering from, when you are missing any form of security, right, you tend to want to do something about it. Now, in the past, before I just go into a couple of talking points, which aren't that heavy, but in the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, there has been an overcorrection with Black women. Um, a lot of it had to do with when men were no longer in the home. There were policies put in place, whatever. So what happened was, in the past, I'm going to say 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, women, Black women had to be the provider, the nurturer. There was this super rise of the matriarch, etc. Okay. And so we got this whole notion of big mama and all these other things. Well, we had to do those things in the past, right? We had to. We had to bring the families together. We had to do all these things. And so what happened was there was an overcorrection then on, we started pushing, even more than what was already being pushed for women to get educated, all these other things, because we were forced to fend for ourselves. We didn't have security. Now, when you fast forward circa 2022, we're still dealing with the effects of that sort of thing, but maybe even more so. And I think over the last handful of years, Black women have had, it was almost like a collective sigh, a collective meltdown or breakdown, a collective, I'm tired, a collective yawn, a collective gasp. Okay. And we realized, even more so that we needed to take care of ourselves. So lately you hear me say things like we've got to put the oxygen mask on. So in the last handful of years, you've got Black women, um, they decided to put the oxygen mask on. Because remember, women, to include Black women, we want financial, sexual, mental, emotional, physical, educational security. And right now, Black women collectively are struggling in various areas. Okay. So what happens is now there is an overcorrection to the pendulum shift that happened several decades ago. So now we're overcorrecting again. We're emotionally tired. So what you're seeing is Black women are checking out. They recognize that a change was necessary. We need a new image, and we've noticed that our physical and mental health was in steady decline. So when people started checking out, there was this collective aha moment, the collective gasp, the collective sigh, the collective cry. So now women are like, we no longer want to be the mule. We no longer want to fight all the social injustices. We're sitting this out. So whether it's on some of the issues surrounding maybe Roe v. Wade, which I think I mean, it's an adverse effect to Black women, but that's in the discussion for another day. Um, whether it's in dating, whether it's in whatever, you'll find that Black women now are over hustling for certain things. And now they're realizing, like, I can't continue to do this either. So what happens is Black women as a collective are tired. Some of the examples that I'm seeing now is Black women are so tired of being told they're undesirable or they're never going to get married and all these things. When men are trying to throw marriage in the face, they're trying to equate value and proximity to men. What's happening is now women are like, you know what? Screw it. I don't even want to be married right now. I don't need this. So you'll see many women campaigning on their singleness. Now, I say that a little tongue in cheek, but I get where they're coming from. What they're saying is, I would rather be single than to be browbeaten. Is that the word? Um, I think emotionally abused or gaslit in these bad relationships and marriages. They are saying we would rather have our peace than to be coupled up. They're doing things where they are addressing, or rather, they are exploiting in a good way the benefits of being single. They're traveling more. They're choosing not to have children. Um, they're choosing peace. They're choosing self. So now, like I said, there's this overcorrection from, instead of looking for um, mates per se, people are saying, you know what, screw it. I don't need a mate. I don't need a mate. I'm noticing that there are many women who've had so many traumas surrounding children, they're opting out of having children. They're opting out, whether it's for preservation of their body, whether it's for preservation of their finances, whether it's for preservation of their mental stability, whether it's for preservation of their time, they're opting out. I noticed that Black women are overcorrecting. I'm sorry, my I have a lot of dings going on here, but Black women are overcorrecting in terms of our image. I noticed that there's certain things that are not ending up on T-shirts anymore. The narrative, the language, narrative and the language of us being strong has changed. We're no longer promoting strength. We're promoting the soft life. We're promoting femininity, or feminine energy and feminine journeys. We don't want to be called strong. And I get that. I totally get that, because the application of masculine qualities towards Black women, I think, has gotten out of hand. So Black women are like, it's not that they don't want to be considered strong, they just don't want that to be the leading attribute. I noticed that Black women have really started working hard towards financial security. So you're seeing that rise in education, even more so. While men are declining in college application or college enrollment, women continue to increase. Um, Women are seeking the higher paying jobs. They're not interested in the commingling of assets with others. I get it. So a lot of this overcorrection has to do with women desiring stability. And since they can't get it in the form of a mate or whatever it is, they're creating that stability for themselves. I noticed that Black women are saying, you know what, we have to recognize that we have to provide positive promotion of our image. I think the problem is there's an overcorrection in what is considered to be a feminine image, right? Because I think it's like subtle, there's like this subtle coupling of being more feminine and beautiful in the I guess media with a certain aesthetic, a certain contouring, a certain amount of makeup, eyelashes, the whole 9 yards, hair type, texture, hairstyles, etc. So there's this overcorrection in how we're trying to present ourselves as beautiful, and I get it, but we're constantly overcorrecting because we don't have the security. We're trying to find that security. For those of you who are in podcasting, you can't see my thumbnail, but this is the thumb. I put up a thumbnail of basically like a shift, like I forgot what you call it, but it's basically, when you have things that are stacked and you pull back one side and then it hits everything in a row. Anyway, this is the image that I have up, I think sums it up. When the pendulum is shifting, there's a constant transfer of energy to the other side, right? You hit several things in between and then it transfers energy. So we continue to be in this pendulum shift, this overcorrection. So we've gone out of our way to say, wait. We have so much mental health concerns and physical health concerns. Now what's happening is Black women are saying we're opting for peace. We're opting not even to have a mate. Heck, if we have to kick our family to the curb, we'll kick them too. We want to disengage from society. I'm seeing people are traveling more. Now, let me just say this. I've always been a fan of travel. It has been a pastime, a hobby of mine. I don't do it as often as I did when I was single or when I was newly dating my husband or whatever. But I will say that I'm seeing Black women slowly engage in more hobbies. I think what would be beneficial is if there were more people who were putting out that kind of content. I'm not saying it's not out there, but I'm saying much of what is promoted falls into three categories. Um, People who are really angry at Black men, people who want to discuss beauty and makeup and what's considered feminine, and in anything surrounding hair. So, anyway, I believe Black women are continuing to overcorrect on so many issues, and a lot of it has to do with a lack of security. We don't, I think collectively, we're searching for financial, sexual, mental, educational, physical, and emotional security. So, right now, I think we're doing a pretty decent job of becoming more educationally sound as far as understanding the options that are out there, becoming educated, whether it's formally or informally. Now we're trying to address the mental portion, right? A lot of people are seeking therapy. A lot of people are seeking therapy to handle all the mental pressures and the traumas that they've dealt with, and now the current emotional state that they're in. We're trying to get more financially healthy. We're trying to have jobs where we or incomes where we can have multiple streams or just higher paying positions so that we can invest in our future, to include land and home ownership. And this list goes on and on and on, but when your security is threatened, you typically want to do things to re-engage or reestablish your level of comfort. So anyway, I think Black women continue to have these overcorrections because they are lacking in security. Well, look, hopefully you found some value in what it was I was saying here. And if you did, this is a great time for you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Okay. It doesn't really cost you much, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you found this information to be interesting, entertaining, informative, etc. That's pretty much it, though. Hopefully, this is one step as far as this video towards putting out additional content out there. I try not to be too heavy on my content, partially because I don't have tons of cycles to dedicate to it, but I do try to be consistent enough to make sure, as a middle-aged Black woman, I continue to put out content that will combat some of the negativity that we have out here today. All right, so look, I got to get out of here because I am also physically tired. Let me know what your thoughts are.